Now, in the previous lesson, we talked about being a demanding reader. And in this lesson, we will talk about reading multiple books about the same topic. So, this could be multiple books at the same time, like we talked about in the previous lesson, or it could be multiple books at separate times. But basically, the idea of this lesson is to talk about reading multiple books about the same topic. That way you can get a better understanding of what you're studying about. And now that you have learned several reading hacks as well about how to choose the right book so you don't waste your time and how to take notes efficiently so you can remember the things you read easily, you are now going to get into reading multiple books about the same topic. As a lifelong learner and an expert in a particular field of work or one you want to be an expert in, it's very important to read more than just one book about your desired topic, even if it is not in your field of expertise. In the case of reading books about your field of interest, you need to read a whole lot of books about the same topic. And when I say a lot, I don't mean 3 or 4. I mean dozens, and preferably ones that are from credible authors. If you can get a hold of dozens of books about the topic that you're improving on, that you are striving to be an expert at, then that's fantastic. Sometimes there are some fields that don't have a whole lot of books about that topic, but most of the time there are a whole lot of books to choose from, and you might have to do some digging to find the right books of your desire. One of the goals here is to continue to read these types of books for the rest of your life. Because, if you think about it, there are going to be new books coming out all the time. I mean, there's I forget the exact number here, but I think it's 500,000, maybe even 1 million books are published every year in the US. I mean, that's a crazy number, right? You'll have to look it up, Google it, see how many books are published every single year in the US, maybe even worldwide if you want to. So if you are learning a new topic or learning a topic that you want to be really good at, there's always going to be new books that come out about it and maybe updated research. So if you're referring to books outside of your field of interest as well, I recommend continuously finding and reading new books in different fields. That way you're always broadening your knowledge and skills, which will help you to have an advantage over people who rarely or never read. Yes, rarely or never read. You will have a big advantage. So the whole reason behind balancing your reading materials between what you really want to become an expert at or are already an expert at and your general interest is because a lot of your most creative ideas will come from combining ideas from multiple sources and topics. This is what was coined by William Wundt as idea synthesis. And I know I mentioned it in this lesson and maybe even a previous lesson about idea synthesis, but now we're going to get into the deeper topic of what this is. It is the combination of several ideas, images, or associations into a new whole that differs fundamentally from any of its components. I mean, that's what makes us human, This is what separates us from animals, is our ability to create. So idea synthesis is like one of your secret weapons. You change two ideas fundamentally to make them a whole brand new one. I mean, this is one of the best things in this course right here. It's just this idea of idea synthesis. And the fact that you know what it is now, if you didn't know what it was before, Now you can strive for it. Now you can reach for it. And sometimes it comes when you least expect it. And in that case, which we will dip into this more in the planning stage, but I'll just talk about it a little bit now, is when you get these ideas that almost seemingly come from nowhere, you have to immediately write them down. Create a separate Google Docs document. That way you can write these unique ideas down and keep them in a safe place. That way you don't forget them. If you don't write them down, I guarantee the idea will be missing forever, and you don't want that to happen. So some of the other reasons, which may or may not be obvious, is the fact that different authors may have varying opinions about the topic of your interest, just like you. Yourself, you may agree or disagree with the author. And that's a great thing because it creates a diverse learning environment in your mind. By reading about the same topic from multiple authors, you will be able to pick up on the subtle or major differences in their arguments. You will then not only be able to agree with one or the other, but make your own hypothesis, which could be completely different from the author's hypothesis. It's not going to be just one author's book that will help you to become the best version of yourself, but many combined, which will help you to do so, plus more. We've got powerful tools. We got powerful tools with books. So use these tools to your advantage. It's going to be so useful for you. The more that you push yourself to read about a particular topic, the better you will become at it. Taking, for example, think back to the very first nonfiction book that you had ever read in your whole life. Mine was Second Chance. Now, think back about the second and third nonfiction book that you read about the same topic as the first. How did doing this make you feel intellectually? Take 30 seconds to think about that. If you want to pause, if you're still thinking, go ahead and pause. I'm going to move on here. If you have tried this, then you will know that reading multiple books about the same topic has a very big advantage over your overall knowledge of that topic. If you haven't done it, then you must try. Now, if you have not already, the next book you read should be about the same topic that you've read about in the past. Make sure that it's something that you really want to improve on, maybe your expertise or something you're striving to improve. If you have already done this several times before, then try it again with the topic that you have only read one book about. Note how this exercise makes you feel intellectually. Then let me know your thoughts at matt@bookmatic.com. See you in the next lesson.